Hi there folks, today I'm going to do a little tutorial on using the Lansky sharpening system. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this, but here's what I've got. I bought this for about £50 sterling off eBay, and it's the Lansky sharpening system. Now I find this works best with flat blade grind knives, Scandi grinds, and also the rest of them. I know that's a bit silly to say, but personally I find kitchen knives, like we have here, and Scandi grinds easiest to do. Now a Scandi grind's easy to do because essentially all you do is rest the stone on the bevel. So as you can see, you've got one bevel and you work your way down through the grits, feeling the burr until it's got a polished edge. Now flat grinds like kitchen knives, which is a 17-degree angle on this Lansky system, is really easy to do because there's not much blade stock. It's very thin, so it doesn't take long to do. So all you have to do, we'll cut to the chase, is you've got these like little tent peg looking things. They're at a 90-degree angle. Well, they should be. You might have to correct that. And then you've got your jig, which is just here. And that's your bottom, that's your 17, that's your 20, that's your 25, and that's your 30. We're working on the 17. Now, when people are honing the edge, if you look at my finger, they'll push it up towards the top. Now that creates a bit more accuracy. There's no rattle. But for now, I'll explain very simply how you use it. So, this is the coarse stone. This is a flat piece of laminate. You make sure everything's flat. You tighten it up, which I have already. We check it's all square. Bit of oil. You don't need to make this soaking. A few dabs. Spread it out. Now, I do plenty of sharpening, but not much on YouTube. So, into the 17. Now, you measure the passes. Now, before we start doing the passes, which are going to be like that, pushing up the stone. I'm not actually touching it yet. We can do it like that. It helps if there's a sharpening choil, which is a bit ground here, and this will stop you chipping the edge of your stone. But for kitchen knives, you just have to be a bit more disciplined and more sensible. But what you're aiming to do is on the first pass with your course, is you're feeling for a burr. Now you should pick the burr. As you can hear, I'm not picking anything now. Once a burr has formed, remember what you've counted with your passes. Say you've passed 20 passes. You then alternate. Once you've done 20 equally of each stone, you work your way down the stones until you've got a mirror-like finish. This should be shaving sharp. Should be. But it's trial and error. As you can see how it's working. And looking at the oil mark, the angle seems correct. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not going to keep counting, but I can see from the dints in the blade that's not enough. So I'm going to be doing this off my perception. And counting, obviously. Literally gently pressing on the blade. We're starting to get closer to finding a burr. Now I'm going to check for the burr. Now this, where the peg is, just here, there's a dint in the blade. Not happy with that. But as you can see, I still cannot pick a bevel. A burr, sorry, not a bevel. We are picking at the bevel, but there needs to be a burr. So you'd have like an apex, like that. Now what should happen is it should get some chamfer on one side. Once you can pick that with your finger, you can then flip it, remember the counts, and work on the alternate side. And that's how you get equal passes per side, which would make an equal apex. Trying to get all this on the camera. I'm using my phone for this. Wish I'd rather used my full-size tripod and video camera, but both works. So let's slightly shift then. Tighten that up. Now every time we're doing these passes, I do them to the nearest 10 and I scratch to see if there's a burr. Not yet. Even this is the most coarse stone. Sometimes if you let your edge go a bit dog, it will take a long time to do. Which is why people keep on top of blade maintenance. To give you an idea, I've asked my missus what's the best kitchen knife to sharpen so she can keep her hands off it, because typically non-knife users will cut onto ceramic worktops, you know, harsh surfaces which will damage the bevel. We're getting there, although I do think this is going to have to be edited because this is only just starting to take shape. But essentially, what you're doing, you start with your most coarse zone, you work in the edge with an equal pass in the same angle, so with the kitchen knife 17, and you're looking to be able to pick a bevel. Now when you pick that bevel, the burr, sorry, not the bevel, sorry, I keep messing that up. When you keep picking the burr, which we haven't got yet, it'll feel like you're picking at something. Now at that point, you can flip the blade. Then when you flip the blade, basically what you're reducing, I've got a little bit of a picture earlier, it's a bit stupid, a bit laughable. But here's what I've been doing with my TBS bore earlier. So it's a Scandi, as you can see. Now this is a dramatised version of what it will look like before. So at the top, you've got an apex on a Scandinavian grind. The edge becomes a bit hairy. And what's happening is, we're making passes equally on each side, in grades of 10 say, with the Lansky, or however you want to do it. And what will happen is this burr will keep switching the sides. And then we reduce through the stones, sometimes with the same amount of passes, and it will make the burr as small as possible. Eventually, it should have a slightly shaded edge. It's very hard to do it with this. As you can see, right on the end, I've done a bit of a Scandivex. There, just see down there reflecting in the light. It should basically have a mirror finished edge and you should be able to shave hair, but like that. You get the point? So I know this has been a bit of a long-winded, boring kind of video, but I'm just trying to explain the logistics of using the Lansky without making a hugely edited video, which isn't realistic. Because all you're doing is what I've shown you on the diagram. Altering the burr either side, reducing the grit until you've got a mirror sharpened edge. Thanks for your time. Bit boring. I'll make an edited version, but I wanted this to be as real as possible. So, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.